There was one summer I was in Athens just after university had finished, and I decided to volunteer with an organization that was up until then unknown to me. That was the Greek Council for Refugees in central Athens, and that just opened my eyes to a world that I had never experienced or known before. So every single step, be it academic or professional, that came after that was sort of tailored and geared towards that direction. I was born and raised in Brussels, Belgium, studied in the UK and France, worked in Belgium for most of my professional life, but always maintained a very close link to Athens and Greece. But coming to live in that place on a daily basis got me to see it in a very different light, and actually to start uncovering the parallel realities that unfold in the same city. And this has been something that is fascinating to me from a work and also personal perspective. That we don't have one city center in Athens. We actually have about 20 different cities that coexist, that overlap, and sometimes never meet. And this is something that we all need to be alert towards. We need to understand how space is politicized, how space is accessible to some but not to others, and how fundamental it is to making people feel at home. Being born in Belgium to Greek parents definitely didn't raise the same questions as being a second-generation migrant or refugee arriving in a new country. At the same time, it did raise those little questions of, is this home? Or is home something different? Or is home constructed? And at the very end of the day, the overall question that has still stuck with me is, does any of this really matter for us to be happy and to be peaceful with each other? Aren't we all strangers and minorities in one respect or the other? It could be sexual, it could be religious, it could be nationality, it could be anything. So we've reached Victoria Square. This is symbolically one of the places in town that has been most strongly associated with refugees. It's usually where people have arrived when reaching Athens from the islands, from other places. And last year this also became very highly mediatized because of a stark increase in homelessness. So the government's new policy pushed people out of the island camps directly after they were given protection. This resulted in people arriving here in Victoria, not having any place to stay, not having any way to navigate the many barriers of the Greek administration, and actually ending up homeless in various places of this square. I heard about Rare when they first started setting up the idea, and as soon as I heard that something was being set up not only to work on transnational rule of law and human rights issues, but actually to bring together people from different places to reflect and to try to come up with something, it just immediately spoke to me. I knew that there would be a lot of challenge and a lot of thinking that needs to go into what we would do and how we could achieve what we want. But the setting and the approach had a very innovative character to them. And that's something that's not easy to find. You can find millions of projects around the continent on networking, on bringing people together, on exploring policy solutions. But this is something different. Very often, I find myself having to justify what I do, especially in an increasingly hostile context that doesn't view civil society as being helpful or as being legitimate as an actor. I keep having to explain not only what I do in a descriptive manner, but also in a normative one. Why this is needed, why this is not suspicious as an activity, and why making sure that everybody has the same access to society is an imperative. funnily enough, my best hope for Rare is that it sticks, is that it stays, which is the biggest dream and sometimes the most difficult challenge in any such endeavor. Ideally, this creates a network that is here for us for a very long time.